Because this is the duty of the institution, to keep you into that situation, and whatever that needs to be benefited from you will be benefited from. Because as long as they let go and allow anything to infiltrate, come in, it will stand in the way of what they want to do with you or what they believe is right. And most of the time, those people who are keeping you in that situation, some of them are mostly aware of it, they've discovered, but for their own selfish ways, they keep you there. Some of them today don't know. There are religious people who are strongly, seriously committed to the religion and truly believe in the religion. And their own peers or, fellow mates make mockery of them sometimes in privacy, and you can see some religious person, he's a very old person, but he has believed strongly that he hasn't taken the chance to sort of go outside of the religion and be in a situation of an atheist or whatever to discover the faith. He hasn't taken the opportunity to go outside to discover things, to open himself up to other things that he's supposed to learn from. This world is a big place. If you never had apple before and you saw others tasting it, eating it, and not liking it, and you decide not to taste it because you feel it's going to spoil your appetite as you're tribally not in what to call it. You're not tribally in some sense used to it. You live forever in your own shadows, and you will never discover that apple is another fruit that other people like you are eating, and it has no harm to you. It will not destroy you. Your appetite is just another fruit that you never knew. You go to Muslim. If I never made the step to buy the Quran, if I never took that step, that hard, difficult step, that I know that I have brothers or people out there who have made that step. If I was still hard-headed, which I have been hard-headed for very long years of my life, over 30 years of my life, very hard-headed. But if I had earlier on known this, maybe descending from father or parents or whatever, and known this and have taken the steps earlier to even hold the Quran or buy Quran, I would never have thought myself ever engaging in Quran or reading Quran. For what? As far as I'm concerned, in my circle of shelter, I was told that the only thing I know is the Bible, and that is the only thing you need to know. That is the only good thing you know. I would never have realized that there are similar stories here, which is equally good, equally right. There are equally things here. I would never even have discovered that because of this conflict that is between these books, I can say today that it is not from God. I wouldn't have known all these things. I wouldn't have challenged my own faith. I wouldn't have put myself in a situation, be delivered from whatever evil that put me into the confined room of just Christianity and all that, and ignoring my chances of knowing all that I need to know. The step has to come from me. Maybe I was guided by a spirit, but that spirit is a good spirit then. Thanks to whatever happened, thanks to whatever spirit that did that, it's a good thing to help me not to get trapped, to stay trapped with this friend or this only friend that I thought I had, that is the Bible or Jesus Christ or Yehoshua or whichever way I might see it, or Jehovah, whichever, the only friend I probably thought I had that will open my doors, will bless me, will shine, will bring so many prosperity to my life. He was going to do everything. I mean, it's like I've opened the door to my life to that, If I never took the step of going, I wouldn't have known that the shape of the book is square or the shape of the book is rectangle. I may see the shape now, but what I'm saying is the entire knowledge of the book, the entire presentation of the book, if I never go out to explore other things, other similar books that has got influences and inspiration on other people and how they live their life, and they also live in a good life, equally just like any other Christian or any other person, they also are getting blessed from the same God. I wouldn't have realized that the same rain that is falling on my head is falling on somebody living in Europe or living in America. If I never traveled to come to London, I would never have known that the same rain that falls from Africa was falling here in London. So that now I can challenge people from the Africa or something from either Brazil or anything to tell them that, hey, it's the same rain, for Christ's sake. It's the same rain that we all have upon our life. For Jehovah's sake, or from Yehoshua's sake, or for God's sake, or whichever way it is. It's the same rain. I can challenge that, hey, the white man is just like a black man. There's no difference. They are just like that. If you live in Africa and you've never known a white man before, This is the moment you take the chance, that step, that big step. If the opportunity comes, you take it and you see it. You can be wherever you are. In this situation, you can be wherever you are. But the thing is, personally, your mental approach, that your philosophical approach, don't let it be stagnant to just one particular religion. Be open to everything if you can. Or be open to one more extra. Make one more extra step to open up to see. You see the challenges. It's just like you going outside the earth to verify that the earth is round or square. That's all it is, to waste away. So you will not every day live in the shadow of a story, whether the story is true or not. You want to find the truth, make the step to discover the truth. And when I found it, I share with you. You find it, share with me. I fish around a lot. There's a lot of information, but all doesn't matter as long as you're able to develop that state of, confidence to see that they are not really basically something that relevant. And how do you know they are not relevant? As I said, the big step, you have to do that. It's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. If you're a sound person and you are not having mental issues and all that, then you have to make that step to help the unfortunate ones among us who do not get developed to the state where they can use their brains. We all have a level of shortcomings and level of disabilities, and that may reflect in our life here and there, but some levels have been okay to be able to survive and come out, to some extent. I know friends who know much more than probably I do, because their IQ is higher. That's the mental ability of people. People have more high ability than others. That's how we all come out. Even that should suggest to us, if you're able to yourself to learn and open more, you suggest to you that, hey, life is not just, a one-way deal to achieve. It's a sharing deal to achieve. And so it becomes very important that whatever the next person does have effect on you. It must be respected in every grounds, So it's a chip in for you to get a picture of what I'm trying to say here. That in a common sense, logical approach, you can always deduce. You can unveil the certain facts to really say that these things is really not what it is. Now let's just keep on. As I have to really still point you out to certain things. As I said, Moses before Pharaoh. What happens to Moses before Pharaoh? He has to prove, to Pharaoh that God really sent me. He had to show signs to frighten Pharaoh or put Pharaoh into his shoes and say, hey, Pharaoh, guy, God is great, he's powerful. Your gods that you worship here is not compared to that. If he tells you to do something, you have to do it. And he has to show the signs. So that's what all this is about. And instead of going through the straightforward day where God will take the people out of there, to even make Pharaoh more fearing and realize that, hey, God is really great. God didn't do that. He was frustrating Pharaoh rather. Putting through certain channels that even will say that men probably could do. Because the idea of frustration is easily done by men, for all we know, for all we understand, with no hassle at all. But then again, it's considered as more greater power because there are certain things that still the men of the magicians of that time could not do. So we know for certain that God took them out and did all that. Now God was showing some of the signs and the things that he had to do to sort of get these people back on the road. He plagues and balls and holes. He sort of breaks some plague onto the Jewish people, the Egyptians, to let the Egyptians give up. The last kill the firstborn sons and all that. If you read through 10, 11, and all that, God was killing children, was bringing all kinds of trouble on the Egyptian people to prove to them that, hey, let my people go. And all was coming through us. Whatever Moses go there, any step ahead, Moses will go there and first ask for more, this guy to give in Pharaoh. But also at the same time, Pharaoh's heart was being hardened by God. For whatever reason, how, I don't know, but just to frustrate Pharaoh, according to the story. And God established a Passover where he had to kill all the firstborn sons, or sometimes, reveal certain, it's unbelievable. Now the children of Israel had done according to the word of Moses. They had asked from Egyptians articles of silver, articles of gold,